kidding. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rose. I hope everyone is having a blessed day today. In today's video, I am going to be doing another scary story time. Since you guys seem to enjoy my last one, and I greatly appreciate it, and I appreciate all the support. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. This story takes place in my old room and of course in the same house I'm currently living in. I was staying in my room one night, chilling on my bed, and it was around 12 a.m. I was on my phone playing a game, minding my own business. Everyone else was sleeping, while my dad was in the living room playing his guitar while watching TV. Oh, by the way, keep in mind, whenever I'm in my room, I always make sure that I shut my door completely, just because, you know, I always like my own privacy. But anyways, back to the story. As I'm on the phone, minding my own business, I suddenly start to hear the doorknob rattling, as if someone was trying to open it and come inside my room. Me thinking my sister woke up and she was just trying to play tricks on me. As the doorknob kept rattling, I called out to my sister and I was like, "Mary, can you stop? Please go to bed." I went back to playing my game on the phone. Next thing you know, my door completely opens wide. I look up and nobody was there. Personally, I thought my sister ran off to her room thinking it was so funny. So I put my phone down and I immediately got up from my bed and I quickly made my way over to her room thinking she was gonna be awake. As I'm walking into her room, I quickly glance. I look over to see my sister, dead ass asleep. She was like roncando. So clearly by then, I noticed that obviously my sister wasn't the one that opened the door. So I quickly made my way over to the living room, asking my dad if he was the one that opened my door. As I was asking my dad, his answer was no. So I kind of got scared and got like chills, trying to explain to my dad what had just happened to me. When I finished explaining to my dad what had just happened to me, all I remember was my dad telling me, "What, like just now? That's so strange. I don't know what to tell you, but this whole time I've been sitting on the couch and watching TV while playing my guitar. I thought you opened it." And while my dad was telling me that, I just remember recalling a moment previously when the doorknob was rattling. I was playing the guitar in the background, and I remember hearing it perfectly still when my door completely opened. So the creepy part is, who was that? Like, seriously, who was that? Till this day, I don't know what that was. Till this day, I don't know what anything is anymore. Okay? I'm pretty sure we all know that. We all probably can relate at some point if anybody has stayed at a creepy home. I don't know. I don't want to call this house completely haunted. I don't really want to scare myself too much either, but no estoy muerta, estoy viva. Honestly, guys, all I remember that night after that, I slept with the lights on, but nothing else happened after it. So, gracias a Dios. This next story takes place at my auntie's and uncle's house. One night, my cousin and I agreed to have a sleepover at her auntie's place. We ended up watching a movie that night and then we went to sleep. The next morning, my cousin woke up earlier than I did and she told me she was going to be upstairs making breakfast. At the time, my cousin and I were the only ones in the house. While my cousin was upstairs, I was still in bed and I remember getting up to go use the washroom. As I'm heading to the bathroom and I'm shutting the door behind me, I was doing my little morning routine and I just remember hearing someone walking closer and closer to the washroom door. And at the time, my auntie's basement floor was carpet, so you could clearly and perfectly hear when someone is dragging their feet or walking by. The footsteps kept coming closer and closer towards the door. I honestly didn't think much of it. I just remember looking down and I noticed seeing like a shadow underneath the door. So I looked down, and as I'm looking down, I noticed the shadow going back and forth, like left and right in front of the door, as if someone was just pacing and just like walking back and forth and like dragging their feet. And I just remember hearing that. I honestly thought it was just my cousin. All of a sudden, the shadows stopped right in front of the door, and the doorknob starts rattling. Like they really just wanted to come inside. I personally thought it was my cousin. So I called out and I was like, hey, it's me, don't worry, I'll be out in a minute. And there was no answer, which I thought was really, really weird. All of a sudden, the rattling stopped immediately when they heard me calling out. As I got up, I remember hearing knocking on the door, and it was just like these little knocks. And then they became like loud. Oh my god, sorry. So I was like, they really gotta use the washroom. So I quickly washed my hands, packed my stuff, and I quickly opened the door thinking I was gonna see my cousin. But tell me why nobody was there. I was a little bit confused at first, but then it got me thinking, and I was like, it was probably just like my cousin trying to scare me. So I completely convinced myself that it was my cousin trying to just scare me. I quickly put my stuff away in the room and I made my way upstairs. As I approached my cousin in the kitchen, I was like, hey Mija, so sorry you couldn't use the washroom. By the way, you low-key scared me downstairs. My cousin turned around and she looked so confused. She was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean I scared you? I paused for a second and asked my cousin, didn't you want to use the washroom? You were just downstairs and you tried opening the door. My cousin had no idea what I was talking about. She told me she was upstairs the whole time and that she didn't even go to the basement. We were both so confused, but honestly, mostly creeped out. And then it got me thinking, my auntie has 2 extra washrooms upstairs and 1 in the basement. Common sense would be obviously to use the one upstairs if you're staying upstairs, right? But in my head and during that moment, I wasn't even thinking about that. And personally, in my head, I thought it was just my cousin that just wanted to use the washroom or either just playing tricks on me. And right from the moment I told my cousin what had happened to me, you're telling me that this whole time she was upstairs? No. Nope. When my cousin told me that was not her, I freaked out. I got so scared and I was just thinking to myself the whole time, if my cousin was upstairs the whole time and I was downstairs the whole time and we were just both alone in the house, then who was that? Like, that creeped me out so much. Ever since then, I didn't really like being by myself in the basement.